Hey everybody! So today I am going to be going through my Hobonichi Techo 2019 cousin for January through June. I did post a quarter flip, so feel free to watch that. I'm going to kind of blaze over that again, just part of having a full flip, so this video is going to be a little bit more lengthy. I'm going to try my best to keep it short. Just a couple quick things. I do use Hobonichi. I use the Techo, I use the cousin size, and I do an Avec. Couple quick things. Everyone plans different. Everyone just needs different things with their planners and crafty tools. I totally get that. Just a quick thing. I could never carry around a book that thick. Just can't do it. So I'm very thankful to have it split into two for a year. So this is the January through June. I'm very excited to go through it with you guys, and if you have any questions about anything, whether it's mixed media related, planner related, I have a lot of other planner experience far beyond this Hobonichi. I've tried so many, it's obscene, and I really did find planner peace with this. So if there's anything in the book that you see or that you have questions about or related to, feel free to leave them below, or on my Instagram even. I'll link that down below. Happy to answer any questions that you have or direct you to someone who might be able to help better. So diving right on in, my plan was to kind of cover this with wine bottle labels, but honestly, some of the wines I drink, the bottle label is really hard to peel off, so I just kind of stopped. But I really liked this one because it was cool, the wine tasted great, and I love that whole freak show style. They've actually come out with some new wines, so maybe I'll try the concept again. I don't use my yearly layout. Little Crafty Life, Taylor Ann is her name. She actually uses it to track her YouTube. So if you're a YouTuber or you have something similar to that, maybe like a Patreon or something in that hemisphere, you might, want to steal that idea and use it for that. I use it to track my days off, just so that I can keep them straight to relay them to my boss. Like if I take something abnormal off, just so that I don't abuse any privileges, because we really don't have a structure or cap on days off. We've never really just gotten into it, so I just keep it straight that way. So this is what most people refer to as a tracker page. A lot of people use it as pre-planning, put birthdays, I've seen that. I use it as a tracker page. It covers the 6 months that are in your Hobonichi that you are currently working in, and then the next page will show you the 6 months after that, which is really handy to have. So going back to my tracker page, I do this really cool kind of diamond pattern. I don't know how well you guys can see that. I think you guys can see it pretty good, actually. Some things that I track just constantly are if I've hit 10,000 steps, where my power hours are, if I've done 64 ounces of water, which is 8 glasses, and the recommended calories. So I use a Fitbit, so it's about staying in range for that. I'm curious to know if anybody else uses Fitbit with MyFitnessPal and feels like that they're getting underfed, because I definitely feel that way most of the time. Vitamins and medicine, a workout, those are the main things that I continuously track. Project Life was a big focus for me this year, or I was hoping it was going to be. And so I was trying to track it and just make sure that I was constantly working on it. But I got a lot more into having an artsy, almost travel journal-esque planner and memory keeping, which we'll get to in the back. But that really took away from time that I would have given to Project Life. And I'm a bit nomadic, so I'm very rarely home. So everything has to be very travel accessible and easy for me to work with. And so Project Life is not like that for me at all. Like, I want to spread out. I don't know how you scrapbook, but I spread out. It looks like a nuke bomb went off whenever I'm working on any kind of a scrapbook layout. So it just didn't work for me. Organizing was a focus at one point. Reading, no takeout, whether I was tracking or not. Doing a craft no spin, I think, is in one of those. I did not track anything these 3 months. I didn't even bother to washi tape this one or make an excuse. Mermaid was insane. I think I finally finished it maybe 2 weeks ago. Because June I spend in both Hobonichis prepping. There's a couple times of the year where your Hobonichis lap over each other. So December and January, I'm in both books. And June and July, I'm in both books. I think that's the main switchover point. So it's a little stressful because I'm prepping and working on it and there's a lot going on. So completely failed. Didn't even throw anything down. I used the bottom block to kind of write myself maybe a little synopsis of like, golf clap, you did well with this. Boo, you didn't do so great with this. Just, you know, evaluating all the checks and stuff. I did recently see a post and I saved it and I don't know who it's from, but what she did was she tallied it up and put it into like a percentage. So she took all of her check marks or her, and it's actually the same person who I learned this little diagonal cute way of tracking so that it was pretty when it was finished. But she, I think it's the same person. She tallied it up and gave herself a percentage monthly, which I think we get to the point where we harp on the things that we didn't do, but we don't think about the percentage of the things that we did actually accomplish. So it can get you can get yourself into a really negative space, which I'm not big into negativity. I'm a positive Peggy police person. I love being positive and golf clapping for everybody and yaying for everybody, including myself. But I think we just beat ourselves up a little bit when it comes to the tracking. So that's just another way to look at it as a percentage. I don't really do too much with this page. I use it as pre-planning, which is great when I'm getting the new Hobonichi ready. And I consult the one prior to it as well so that I can make sure I didn't forget anything. A lot of this I used for concert tracking and vacations and just things I'm learning about along the way. This is the December, this was the December monthly layout. I forgot, truthfully, totally forgot and spaced out that I do a 1 line a day on this spread, and I'm going to show you what that looks like when we get towards the end of the monthly layouts. But I completely spaced and forgot about it. So rather than go back and try to do it, I went ahead and just painted over it and did just kind of like a little mixed media page, which really started to set the tone for me wanting to be more artsy craftsy in this and use different mediums again, and really, as I put it, whine less. I was very, very whiny in my first Hobonichi. It was a lot of journaling, not very pretty, just, it was a means to an end. It did exactly what it needed to do. It got me on the Hobonichi train for life, probably, but definitely started to show me that I can use this as a creative platform too, and I'm not just married to it being a whiny pants journal. So, change is inevitable, growth is optional is one of my favorite John Maxwell quotes. I love his books. I love his outlook on things, especially managing and business and just being organized. And then I added, let's see how far we've come, which is in a Rob Thomas song. It actually might be Matchbox 20, but irrelevant. The face I did in kind of like a Jane Davenport style. It's actually the stamp, and I just watercolored over it. And then the purple paint is a Dilutions paint that I had. So yeah, that's kind of that. I liked the quote with the let's see how far we've come, just because I did start to make a lot of progress in this, and not just in pulling away from kind of the whiny journaling, but by using it as an art platform again, and I fell off really bad with the planning part of it, I'll admit to that, but life really started to kind of pick up, and I felt like I was putting things back together and in a much better place than I was in the first Hobonichi, so it was kind of a reminder of you've come really far, even if you don't think you have sometimes. So I use my monthly layouts for two things. I do budgeting down one side, and then I do my workout calendars here. I've tried it a couple different ways. I have pre-filled it, and I've also written it in as I go. I've learned that writing it in as I go is much better for me because I'm not drawing all these squiggly lines and it doesn't get messy and yucky. I liked the pre-fill for a little while because it kept me from saying, oh, I'll just work out tomorrow, and ditching the workout entirely. So it served a purpose for a hot minute like that, but it just didn't stick. I did decorate some of the pages with the Jane Davenport watercolors. The only thing that I didn't love about that is I wrote in pencil before I painted, and with Jane Davenport paints, for whatever reason, you can't erase pencil underneath that paint. It's just a property of the paint itself, and that was problematic and made it look kind of messy here on the last one. But as far as enhancing your pages, they're beautiful. The type of paper that's in Hobonichi works really, really well with watercolors, and I love watercolors. So it was a perfect match. For me, that was just one tip I just thought I would pass along is, you know, do your decorating and all of that with your paint, and then go back with a pencil and pen. And you can see here where I like watercolored over it and it got muddy too. So just food for thought there. I did, just on a workout front, I did get a book. Here's this little guy. I do Body Boss. I really like it. For me, I need a structured plan, so I would look at Instagram challenges, like month challenges, and work off of those. This is great because it's a 12-week program. You get a bonus of a 4-week pre-training, and the way that it's structured is incredibly easy to follow. I'll admit to Rubik's cubing the hell out of it. So that being said, it follows no order in here sometimes, but it is what it is. So this is what I was talking about where I do a 1 line a day. I wish it had been prettier. So just to give you a little reference point, this was the first 1 line a day I did, and I had like stickers and cute stuff and stamps. I wish I had done that again. I do like the clean look of this. It's great, but it would have been nice to have it be pretty. It's just a lot when you're in 2 Hobonichis at the time and trying to live life. It was kind of hard to make it pretty. So I'll live with it. I'm going to flip through my weeklies because honestly, I'll stop here and there just to explain things. So one thing I did try was separating my day into 3 different brackets because I do have a lot of trouble getting through all that water. So at the time, the water bottle I had, I needed to drink 3. So that kind of helped me stay on it. I stamped Cher for the concert day that it was. I tried to do stickers. I think I might have tried the weather thing again. No, didn't. I track people's birthdays up at the top and sometimes my weight. Check-ins are done like that. One thing that I did not really like about this 6-month set, and I'm still kind of doing it now, and it's a bad habit I'm trying to break, which is that I'm just writing to-dos rather than being time conscious. of that to do. So it went away from being an hour by hour, which is what I loved so much about Hobonichi and what I love so much about my first one. It helped me stick to things to do. It's so easy to get in a click hole on Instagram, get online and be looking at stuff, dive into my Hobonichi, read a book. It's so easy to do all the things that we want to do like that and not focus on work if we're in that kind of an atmosphere where we have that flexibility. So really trying to commit to getting better at that this last 6-month set and break the bad habit I created. Another thing I'll track is important things like International Women's Day, or if it's ice cream day or National Pizza Day, just, you know, to throw a little bit of fun in there and maybe create a plan for the day or have a cute idea. Another thing I do is maybe write weekly to do. So if it's a work thing that is gonna take a couple days or is client related for me, where I'm waiting on something back from them, it's something I can work on throughout the week and not be married to one particular day and time, or get upset when I can't highlight it off. I didn't decorate a lot of pages, you'll see that, because it was hard to write over. I learned that in the first one, that I don't really use my weekly spreads other than for strictly work and planning. So I needed it to be clean. I needed it to be visually just open and not blocked in any way. So I stopped doing that completely in the July through December. No more decorating the weekly spreads. I tried little things like bracketing out where lunch is and where the end of my day and the start of my day was at work. Just so I didn't put things there and I didn't have to write lunch every day or driving or what have you. And I do write events in here, so like Mother's Day, or my parents take the same trip to Mexico every year, so I put that in there so that I would remember. I put little notes, so I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but some geese hatched in my work complex, and I got the pleasure of watching Mama Goose not only build her nest, sit on her nest, but to also see them hatch about a day after they hatched, and I got to see them as they've gotten older. So it's fun to see if you want to hop over to my Instagram and look at that. Like I said, my weeklies are not that exciting, truthfully, really not exciting. In your Hobonichi, you get some free paper. Some free notebook paper would be the best way to say it. So you get enough space to kind of journal a little bit, and it says turning the page to a new year on this one, and then turning the page, which is cool. So this would have been a really great place to journal maybe my resolutions for the year and just kind of have a good place to look at. I use it as an end of the book recap, just to talk about the book and how I feel going into the next one, just so that it's all kind of, that section of time is here. So I leave it blank until the very end, and then I get to go back and make it really pretty. There's more in the back. So what I'll do is I'll walk you through these guys and then go through those and flip it back. That's my plan. These doilies are for Michael's. These stickers are from the Maggie Holmes sticker book. These are Happy Planner stickers. I use the Fuda, whatever it is. I can never say it right. It's like Fudaseki, Saki, something like that. It's the fancy brush pens everybody uses from Tombow. It comes in a 2-pack. There's a hard one and a soft one. They're really great brush pens to play with. Admittedly, I am not a brush pen expert, despite you seeing cute little marker handwriting everywhere. It's just not my strong suit, I think. But I practice a lot. I did a hand lettering challenge back last year. I'm trying to do more art challenges just to develop that craft right now. But yeah, it's still fun to kind of have those pops and those headings. So I also took, I don't know if you've ever been to Farm Burger. really great place. Loves me some pimento cheese fries. But I take their paper bags, and as long as it doesn't have oil or anything on them, because I usually get it to go, I decided to rip this one up and just do cute stamps. So this is a Tim Holtz stamp, and then I had a Studio L2E Embrace the Journey, which I thought was perfect for the butterfly, and just stamp that little guy on there. You're going to see a lot of these almost translucent, I don't think that's the right word either, but these really cool stickers throughout my Hobonichi, in this one and the one I'm working on now. So it's like a 2019 kind of thing, from a chick called Quinn Bouley. She runs Mindful Hookup, and she has phenomenal stuff. She has a phenomenal style of bullet journaling and just a really great energy and spirit and human. And her shop is insane. I could spend so much money in there. But I did a bulk order, and this came in one of the kits, and you can actually buy this sticker pack separately too. I think it's called the Bloom sticker pack. So cool with that. I broke down all the headings based off of Level 10 Life, which is a Hal Elrod thing. I do not have the book. I know roughly what it's about. I just like the fact that the headings are the way that they are. Boho Berry uses it. So if you want to follow her, she's got a lot on it. And she does Level 10, and she has a really great blog post on the whole thing. So feel free to go there. I'm going to try to remember all these people and post them down below. So I'm sorry if I missed somebody. Please let me know, and I'll edit and I'll put you in there if you happen to watch it or if you need it. So I went through the Level 10 Life stuff and did family and friends, personal development, spirituality. And we're just going to flip back here. They talk about finances. This is from Michael's as well. This is some Jane Davenport tape, and I believe that's a Maggie Holmes sticker book saying career and business. This is a really cool little thing. This is a doodle by a friend of mine, and I just asked him, we were sitting there playing with markers, and I was like, can you doodle in my Hobonichi? And he was terrified. He was like, oh my gosh, your Hobonichi is your precious. But I was really glad that he at least, you know, braved it out and did something that was really cool, and I love it. I've been posting these pages on my story, and I love them. I think this is from an American Crafts 12x12 pad. I cannot remember which one, but I like cut the whole page up based off of like its little, I don't know, kind of craft pieces. And I've been hanging on to them for dear life, and I finally thought I'd put them to good use. This is another one of those Quinn Bouley stickers, as is this and this. This is part of a notepad that came in the kit too. This is from that American Crafts book. This little dude is from Happy Planner. Again, another one of my cute little stamped images. I think I used all Tim Holtz stamps this round, and I'll probably stick with that. I love just the simplicity of those stamps in black and white on the craft paper. I think it's beautiful. And it's totally right up there in that Tim Holtz style. This little Fall of Your Heart, which you probably can't see, is part of the Maggie Holmes book as well. So then it goes into relationships, fun and recreation, giving contribution, physical environment, health and fitness. These stickers are from Quinn Bouley. This is another one of that American Crafts little guys. Again, my stamped images. This is a Tim Holtz ephemera piece. And then these are actually rub-ons from Jane Davenport's rub-ons. I threw some quotes in there along the way, like believe in yourselves, dream, try, do good, from Mr. Feeney, who I don't know if any of you guys actually watched Boy Meets World, but I pretty much lived on it. So I love throwing that in there. And then progression, not perfection, because I feel like, again, it's so easy for us to get overly critical of everything, especially if you art journal and you get on social media and you get really intimidated that yours isn't as pretty as someone else's. or you try to imitate someone's style. And I think it's super important to be inspired and take bits and pieces from everybody, but to also make it your own. So I'm just going to finish this out, this kind of extra area out, and then I'll go through the dailies. I just use this as some notepad, planning some trips. Tombow dual brush pen tracker, just didn't know what I had. This was supposed to be my Project Life to-do list and my goals. This was a disaster. Then I went into my monthly bills and goals. I don't use my timetable. Quick thing, I use mild lighters. A lot of people do, a lot of planner people do. They're great, they're fun colors. I use them as markers just as much as I use them for a highlighter. I do use my favorites page. I don't worry about filling it up so much as just tracking what it is. So just some cool things. I watched ABC Murders and Gentleman Jack. My Florence and the Machine show, I'd never seen her and she was fantastic. It was a great show. I fell in love with stuffed mushrooms with this like cream cheese sausage filling that Jeff made. Good Omens was also a great show I watched. So I tracked all those. I was trying to use this little guy as a resolutions tracker. I don't know that that was the best idea. I think it's a great idea. I just think it would have been better if I actually focused on those resolutions. I use this as a test page for just random pens that I had because the paper in Hobonichi is not alcohol friendly. It's not all media friendly. It can get really mean and messy very quickly. And I've experienced that quite a bit, especially in the first one, learning how to experiment with different products and styles and inks and paints that didn't bleed through. So I just kind of use that as a test page. I did use the gift list just to kind of get an idea of who all I would be buying gifts for this year, or who I wanted to. I do use my address page, so I'm not going to show it. I don't use my personal notes page. So there we have it. I am going to do kind of a quick flip of January through the end of March because I already have that video posted and you're more than welcome to go look at it a little bit more in depth. As usual, if you have a question or I missed something in either video, please let me know and I'm happy to answer it. So I'm just going to kind of quick flip through this guy. I got really sticker happy, I think, through all of this. And you definitely see a change even going through. Oh, side note, normally I do my disclaimer a lot earlier than this. There is a lot of nasty language used throughout my Hobonichi. So if you're of a certain age where you're not supposed to see that, please turn this video off. Or if you don't want to see it, you can turn it off. But do not leave me nasty comments. That's the only thing I would please ask of you. If you don't like it, that's fine. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to see it. I'm cool with that. Sad that you're leaving, but this is my space. And so it's going to stay my space. But as I was saying, you definitely see a huge change in the style of lots of washi tape and stickers and that kind of thing, and a lot of hand lettering, and it goes to getting really artsy. When I came back from Mermaid and was newly inspired with everything, I felt very reinvigorated to be crafty and exciting. Side note, I make beautiful succulents that don't look like artichokes now, and I grow them. This is my favorite food truck, so you're going to see that little meatball lady a lot. I have all this really great ephemera nonsense going on. I'm sorry if I'm going really fast. I definitely just don't want this to be a 9-hour long video. It's so cool for me to be able to flip through something like this where I see like the evolution, like looking at something like this, and then when we get to Mermaid, you're like, is this even the same person? Because it's a totally different medium. It's something I was more comfortable with, and I was really challenging myself to be artsy and, you know, flex that muscle a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and like delve back into explaining some stuff here. Again, if there's something in that first 3 months that you really want to know about, I'm happy to answer. I'm just trying to be time conscious. I ended up not actually doing the Alice in April or the March hair challenges. I think I played a lot of catch up, and I'm not really sure what all was going on. This is a really cool photograph. So on my boyfriend's back porch, if you look straight up, it's like these perfect kind of, he said it looked like a star, the first picture I took, and it kind of does, like it follows this little path. But I had this idea of what if I tilted the camera up and took a picture every single season or where I felt like it was best represented. And I remember thinking, like almost holding my breath at certain points, that I wasn't going to make it to the next season. It's like those first, you know, kind of that new relationship jitter that people get. And I really just remember thinking, you know, because it started out kind of as a friends thing again, and I just remember thinking I wasn't going to finish the project. So when I finished the project, which happened to be in April, I put the picture in there in a small format just to have that kind of, that completion or feeling of completion. These are Dilutions paints that I just did with like the little blender tool and just threw them down. Normally I kind of do like photographs from that month and journal about them and just kind of like the highlight reel, but I liked it the way it was, just kind of blank. I tried a couple different things, like lots of to-do lists in the beginning. I started using my Happy Planner stickers. I was just ready to kind of try new things. I'm still in that place of stickers and washi tape at this point. So there was a lot of that. This is a cutout from a beer that he prefers. It's a 420 beer. One of the ones that they have. I think it's a 420 beer. I can't remember the name of the brand right now. Why can't I think it's a Sweetwater beer though. Irrelevant. Same. It's a really good beer if you've never had it. This was my first fish in a little while, I think. Yeah, it was the first fish of the year. So we got a really cool picture of it, which was great. We did a lot of yard work that day, and I got bit by something on like the back upper part of my thigh, so like my almost butt, just sitting down, and it was just awful. But I took a picture of some wildflowers that we kind of rescued and were semi-run over. These are those Quinn Bouley stickers. The brush pens that are colored are typically the Prismacolor ones that I have. I started playing with the Jane Davenport stamps, and I had some Staedtler brush pens that I wanted to play with. So just kind of learning about that. We took a random day trip to Birmingham because he had to go get a permit for a job that they were doing in Alabama. And so the day before, he was like, hey, you want to come? And so, believe it or not, my boss actually just let me off on short notice. And after a very full, long, exhausting, boring time in the car, we went to Hattie B's, which is really great. If you ever go, get the banana pudding. It's stellar. The mac and cheese is pretty good too because it's a pimento mac and cheese. This was a free-handed mermaid. Again, please take note for when we get to mermaid, and it looks totally different than this. My friend Maddie reads my cards, and I even tracked a lot of that in the last Hobonichi. So I just threw an insert in there and then did a mixed media on the back of this, because originally I wrote the wrong I journaled about what the card said, and it was the wrong, I'd gotten some days mixed up. So I did an apology without change. It's just manipulation. At the time, there was a lot of behavioral issues on both sides of my relationship. And I think we were both fighting for freedom from different things, and just, you know, those growing pains that you have. And it was a perfect quote at the time. And then I just kind of get right back into all of the great sticker nonsense. Game of Thrones was starting, so I decorated this page. I think I have a time lapse of me doing this page. We saw Hellboy, so I stapled the ticket in. By the way, Hellboy is a great movie. It's available on Amazon. You can buy it right now. I don't think you can rent it yet. Super great. You should watch it if you haven't. This is when the baby geese hatched. I lost my mind. They were so cute and so little. I actually got to keep 2 of the eggs after they broke. It was just wonderful to have them. It was not a great day. It was a super early day. I needed a very uplifting little push, and that was it. Sadly, the very next day, couldn't find them. I was freaking out, thinking something bad had happened to them. So I get to see them after that, but I was terrified for most of the day. And then I tried to make a stuffed chicken breast, and I overcooked it, so I was not happy. I was just not in a good mood at all that afternoon. I couldn't find my geese. I overcooked the chicken. I was at home. I was just not having it. More sticker plonking. This cute little moon stamp is from the Quinn Bouley shop as well. One thing I really started tracking was full and new moons and all of the specifics about them, especially pertaining to moods and such as that. I'm definitely affected. My boyfriend is far more affected, which is strange and funny because he doesn't put as much stock into it all as I do. But, oh no, my phone is doing that low battery thing, so hold on. Sorry about that. There we go. Sorry. So yeah, I started charting moon stuff. Awful weather day. Power went out and Binks was underneath the covers and looked terrified. I took so many cute pictures of her. This was a baddie day all the way around. It was just a really, really bad day. And then the next day I got to take a cute picture of Daisy for her birthday. These stickers are Happy Planner stickers. Most of the stickers I use are Happy Planner. This cute little bunny stamp for Easter. I made an awesome sausage cream sauce, spicy sausage cream sauce to put over some tortellini I had. So we had that for dinner. Lots of little hand lettering shenanigans. So I decided that I was going to plant succulents. That was my thing that I was going to accomplish, and I was really, really pumped about it. And they actually turned out really well. They've grown really well. You can look at them on my Instagram. I love them. They're my little plant babies, and they've grown so big. We've actually repotted the ones I started with and added a lot of kind of rare, cool ones. So he said that they were Pinterest worthy. So I took really great pictures of them. Then came Mermaid, and I just went down a hole and painted my little heart out. The only thing about Mermaid that I really didn't love was not being able to journal every day. It was really, really hard to do that, and I was really happy to get back to it. I'm getting ready to do another Jane Davenport challenge in August, and I'm definitely keeping that in mind that I need to still journal daily. So it's going to be a challenge trying to figure that out. I left the post-it in here that says use Jacksonville Beach water pen. I don't know if anyone's ever done it or thought about it, but taking your water pens and filling them up with the ocean water, beach water, lake water, whatever, when you're on a trip and using it while you're there or bringing it home to use in your watercolors. So I don't know what page I ran out of it on, but I got a good, like, probably 5 or 6 pages done using that water from Jacksonville from the trip last year, which made them special. I'm not going to go into too much depth with the pages. I just used a lot of Jane Davenport watercolors. I used my pen. That's the stamp from Quinn Bouley shop again. I don't think I use anything really other than that. Just pencil, pen, and Jane Davenport watercolors and her stamps. I journaled here and there where I could. I know I get to a place. I love that. No wise fish would go anywhere without a porpoise. I don't even start using kind of the white until back here. Fun fact, be very careful when embossing because you can burn through these pages. I did a little full flower moon insert and it was a totally shit moon. This is where I get the bright idea to start using the white Dilutions paint. Instead of having to mess with like jelly rollers. And I just use a nail dotting tool. Works like a champ. This is actually all paint, like acrylic paint, over top of the watercolor. Brienne of Tarth for the Sapphire Seas. This is ugly. It's super ugly. I was really glad that by that point I didn't have to post anymore because it was bad. And I was getting bleed through this last little bit. There were some ebbs and flows. I had to take some serious break time after Mermaid was actually over and I had 5 left to go. And I just kind of did them at my leisure. This is one of my favorites for sure. And so is this. That was really, really cool to do. And then I just tried to be really simple kind of towards the end. I don't know the brand of stamps that this is, but it's really cool. Let me see. It was just a collection, the Seaview collection from Shayna. My mom had it, and I just saw them one afternoon and thought that would make such a great space and stamp set for Mermaid. And then we're just kind of back to the happy goodness that is journaling and Hobonichiing. This was fantastic. All of these were like very nature things. So I caught a fish and I was the only person to catch a fish, which meant that I officially outfished Jeffrey, which is pretty much impossible. He was building me a fire while holding this delicate butterfly, which was comical in its own right, but really sweet and kind of romantic too. There was a bear in my neighborhood. Yes, teenage bear. I live in Atlanta, like the outskirts of Atlanta. So this bear hopping someone's fence was quite interesting. I got these days mixed up, but using Tombow brush pens and just kind of getting back into the swing of journaling and using headings. And these are the stuffed mushrooms I was talking about that I fell in love with. And then we drank tequila. And it rained. It finally rained. It had not rained in 2 weeks. My parents had just got back from Mexico and we went through a heat wave while they were gone. So I was watering everything every day. And I'm new to gardening and I didn't even think that I was actually capable of gardening. So it was a very stressful 2 weeks while they were gone. I had earned that Patron and the rain. Sometimes I do have to do inserts. This was just like a burst of anger that I just typed up, printed out, and threw in here. They're kind of pretty. Some cute Florence and the Machine pictures. I love pressure is not supposed to break us. It's designed to make us. So this is kind of literally where the levee broke. We were kind of at a point where we needed to have some serious conversations, and we did. And put your money where your mouth is. We really had to actually put those things into action pretty quickly, and it worked out fine actually. We did a really good job and we're still going strong, so that's exciting. And this is like mild liners with some pin over it. Cute little date night stickers. Watch Gentleman Jack if you haven't. Super good show. So this is when I start getting excited about like stencils and really being kind of artsier. Is that a word? In there. Any paint you see is probably Dylusion's paint. And most stickers are Happy Planner stickers. It's very rare that that's not true. If you want to know where one is. And again, stamps. Probably Tim Holtz. I'm really pigeonholed like that. Another one of my little cute rip things. And then these are actually the succulents now. That's so crazy. They're in these big gorgeous pots now. So that's it, guys. That's the flip through. Like I said, if you want to see something specific or you want to know what something is, I'm happy to share. Thank you guys for staying through the whole video if you made it. Hopefully I'll get some more videos up soon. And I'll try to post as many things as I can remember link-wise down below. If I miss something, let me know. I'm happy to share it with you. Otherwise, happy planning, happy crafting. I hope everyone's having a great summer and enjoying getting into this back half of the year and just stretching all of those happy planner crafty muscles and happy muscles. I hope you're having great summer adventures and filling whatever memory keeping tool that you have. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time.